Hey, what if Deku had a teleportation quirk remastered? We're pretty much gonna have it to where we're not gonna waste much time with this what if, but I'm gonna run it down just in case any of y'all are new. If you have a dollar, a penny, it doesn't matter to spare. Go ahead and go down to the description below. Help your boy out. Send some shit. Don't worry. Once I actually start getting a consistent amount of currency, we're gonna also do some other shit like giveaways and shit like that too. So it won't just be a one-way street. Give me money. And if you can't do that, bro, y'all can always watch these ads that pop up all the way through. That does help out a lot with my ad revenue. And also, if y'all do, y'all let me know if y'all want to see me stream because that will be coming. That will be coming back more consistently fairly soon. But besides that, let's get into the video. What if Deku had a teleportation quirk? Is basically gonna just be what if Deku had a mean toast quirk, but teleportation sounds cooler. And we're gonna do this similar to the way I did the shadow clone, which I might upload that first. I don't know, but I'm gonna have it to where Deku's Deku is it's gonna pretty much be the same intro, but Deku's basically just gonna be traveling one day, and he's quirkless for a little bit. He's around 10. He's around 10. A lady gives him a book, and he's like, "Oh boy!" He grabs the book, and after he grabs the book, he's like, "All right, bet." He keeps it moving, and he um immediately goes off and start doing a whole bunch of training. While he was doing all this training stuff, he learns about chakra, realizes he has a good amount of chakra reserve, just in case you didn't. Oh, just in case you haven't seen the Shadow Clone video or what for whatever reason. Basically, I made the presumption that people have a large amount of ki and a large amount of chakra. A large amount of ki and a large amount of chakra. Due to the simple fact is, if you don't use something, it will. No. Due to the simple fact of that quirks came into play, it's kind of like real life. If quirks really became a thing, the art of how to control one's energy and how to control one's body would become even more diminished. Due to the simple fact is, people be like, because if human beings as a whole are generally lazy. If I have power right here, why would I seek out and try to go get something even more? Or if I don't, well, everyone else has this, so I guess I'm a failure. Loosely speaking, it's gonna be kind of how everybody would operate, and how people would, go about, proceeding with the lack of an ability or something like that. Anyways, we're gonna get into where our boy Deku is doing training, and he learns that he can put marks on things and stuff like that. So what he starts doing is he gets a sharp object. We could say it's a kunai, but I won't really make it a kunai. I'm gonna probably just say it's like a small bit of a pole, or we could say it has to be something he can fling. So we could say a boomerang. We could say it really doesn't matter. Y'all can put that down in the comments below. Okay, so we're gonna get it to where your boy Deku eventually gets proficient enough, and what he starts doing is he starts throwing this pole, or what you're gonna say, mini bow staff. Well, we're gonna say an MB. He's gonna start throwing an MB. He's gonna start throwing this bad boy recklessly, right? And what he's doing is he's trying to see get as familiar as with places as possible, and also he's trying to get used to traveling really far distances, and he's just trying to learn the limits of what his ability can do. Um, he even gained some of the cockiness. He even gained some of the cockiness and shit, like a speedster, but like it's not like overbearing cockiness. He just kind of has that like confidence persona, like, can you keep up, kind of like vibe and stuff. Like he's just a real homie, all right. And so he's doing a good chunk of the training, and he's trying to see his marks last. Actually, they don't dissolve for the most part. Now there's exceptions and all that stuff, but for the most part, the marks stay there for a really long time if they do go. Um, We would also um we'd also have it to like where he's just training and he's able to do like errand jobs. So he's known, he's like, all right, what does all need to be where and where do they need to go? He's like, okay, so this needs to go here, this needs to go here. So he just starts marking the boxes. All right, and I'm out. So he just starts teleporting, just teleporting. Bam, 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 bam. He's pretty much gonna be like a Minato ripoff, where he's just copying what Minato can do, and so he's pretty much just gonna be a Minato ripoff, where he's just mimicking, kind of how Minato is. So he's gonna be a pretty cool, relaxed guy, and carefree, and he is just zooming and flashing and just teleporting almost nearly everywhere. So he has a lot of errand jobs, and this doesn't take long. So what people would spend, let's say, give or take a month or so doing, Deku gets done within like a day or two. Like it really doesn't take him that long because he what he does is right. He'll get the area he needs to go. He can either travel it on foot or just throw his stuff. So it's actually like he before like, if there, let's say it's like a certain area, right? There would be like he would get paid for a month just to explore the area. And he puts basically little markings in safe spots to where there would be pretty much nothing to be there. And he puts that all in safe spots. And then he would have like pretty much that whole general area mapped down. So he's able to like, when he teleports, he's like, all right, he looks around, he's like, all right. Put the package here, put this here, put that there. And he doesn't actually need to like let's say there's a ball, right? And the ball needs to get to point C, and he has marks in A, B, and C. He could technically just teleport ball A to where C is at. But since he's doing it for individual locations and individual places, he can't just generalize where it goes. He actually has to specialize it. But if the people do know him, or the people, once he becomes popular enough, they're like, oh, this is what he's doing. So they'll all wait. And when the packages start coming, there's like a whole little system that basically was made just solely because of him. And he's like, all right, yeah. So what he does is people go to those spots and he starts sending them there. And then after he sends everything everywhere else, he teleports to one of the boxes. And he's like, all right, so this goes to, yes, you, the blue haired girl, this is you. Yo, Mike, this is you. This, this is you, this is you, this is you. And so he starts doing that for everybody. But also, he doesn't just work at one, he works at multiple. So he technically has income coming in at all times due to the simple fact. Because even when he's not working, if he's not like doing something for school, which school isn't hard because he's kind of like a Minato, where he's pretty just smart. On top of his natural, what he was gonna be like in canon, he's pretty smart. He doesn't really need to study for the most part. It's not like he's being arrogant or whatever. It's just the stuff comes to him dumb easy. So he spends most of his time training and getting used to using his not quirk, but the ability that he practiced and trained for. So it was nothing handed out, no freebies, no none of that, right? Um, so with all that being said, he's just pretty strong, and like when he's known as the Green Flash, um, or he's known as the Blur, kind of similar to like Flash and Minato. Since he's not a villain or whatever, it's not like the Demon Flash or something like that. It's nothing malicious. They're just like he's the homie. And with all this training Deku does, he also keeps his physical in check too, because his reflexes need to be spot on. Because there's been instances where he's like teleported. Just this is when he was trying to get used to it, but there's been times where he's like trying to like teleport or whatever, and he'll teleport like into oncoming traffic. So he has to like throw his weapon up like in the last possible second, teleport. And then after he teleports, he basically had to do some very lucky maneuvers, and he could have easily gotten rolled up, is what I'm basically saying. So one day, he's doing his like, patrol, or not really patrol, more about just traveling about, trying to get a good. He needs to know. I don't want to overpower this nigga by just using the wrong measurements, but like I'm gonna say he would know his like a good range of proximity, like not just probably just like the whole little. I'll say I don't know how to word it, but he knows a very massive range of land. So if he ever needs to teleport to a certain spot or something like that, he can do it no problem. Okay, and we're gonna also make it to where he's teleporting, and then he teleports into one dude, and he's just like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I could ask you the same thing, kid." So briefly, they actually throw hands, and Stain's like, "All right, Bucko, you're pretty fast." And he's like, "I could say the same to you." He's like, "I see what you did there." And so they're about to, before they even continue, he's like, "What's up with all those blades?" And that's pretty much where we're gonna end it off, with him just talking to Stain and stuff. So if you like the video, like the video. I'm doing this video a little short due to the simple fact of I gotta see how people like it. If you do like it, I would have no problem continuing or doing more. I love y'all. Catch y'all later.